Hi everybody, my name is Deyanira Salazar and I am out here in Campwood. I live in Texas. I live in Uvalde, Texas. And you may be wondering, well, why mentoring, right? Well, the reason that I would like to do this mentoring group, to have a mentoring group for 7th and 8th graders, is because I am an educator and I have worked with many students and I see that they are needing a lot of guidance these days. Our students are growing up in a time when it's very difficult for them to traverse life. There are so many obstacles in their way. There are so many things that really impress upon them, but they're not good things. So we have so many challenges nowadays. We have, of course, social media, which can be very good, but then we also have social media, which can be misused, and of course, our students get hooked on it. Our kids, right? 7th and 8th graders included, and they need role models. Our students are lacking role models, I believe, because there are so many people that just don't have it together, and by that I mean like they are on drugs, or they are lost, or they are following the wrong crowd. And so before your child is one of those people, I would like to help. I am a math teacher, math tutor, math specialist. I train teachers in mathematics, especially Singapore mathematics. That's my favorite. I love Singapore mathematics. I've been a fan of Singapore mathematics for a long time, many years. And I also work here in Uvalde. I tutor. My company is called Math Rocks, and I founded Math Rocks in 2007. And I've been tutoring since then. I've had my very rough times, especially these days with inflation. It's killing many businesses, including mine. But I'm not going to let it happen. So my business is still going, but I do not have as many students as I used to have. I've also had my health challenges. Recently, I went through a very awful depression last year, and it was a big learning experience for me, for sure, because it really helped me to appreciate life. For sure. For sure it did that. I mean, it was awful having to go through that, but I live in Uvalde, Texas, and that is where we had the Robb Elementary tragedy that many people may still remember. Things like that are in the news for forever, but then they're gone. And so if you remember Uvalde, Texas, we had 19 children that were killed, just literally shot to death, and 2 teachers that were also shot to death. And so after that tragedy, I'm sorry, I got bit by a net again. After that tragedy that happened on May 24th, 2022, so we already had the 2-year anniversary of that awful day, where we lost all our kids, so many of them. I knew some of them. Some of them were related to my students that I tutor at Math Rocks. And so after that, I went through the most dark depression that you can imagine. It was awful. And I also had people who were very negligent and didn't give me my medicine on time. And so combine those two together, and I just had the worst depression that you can imagine. It was awful. And I really had to struggle to get back on my feet. I'm getting back on my feet now. And because during that time I lost my apartment, I lost my office, I couldn't pay the rent, I lost so many students, and so I literally had to build Math Rocks back up, and I am doing I'm doing it now, and thanks to God I am building it back up better than it was before. So remember, I said I founded Math Rocks in 2007, and that was in August the 26th. It's Mother Teresa's birthday. I purposefully founded Math Rocks on Mother Teresa's birthday because she is my role model, will always be my role model for my life. And I love her. I love that she was so compassionate and wanted to help so many people. Oh, look, there's a deer. Let me see. Let me try to share it with you. Oh, I don't know if I can. Let me see. There it is. I think it was drinking water. Yeah, there it is. Cutie. So I am at next to the Nueces River. This is the Nueces River. I am in Montel, Texas. Montel. And this is where I come to chill, to relax, to rejuvenate, to talk to God, to share my dreams, and to listen to Him so that He can guide me. I've been doing this for almost 20 years, coming here. I love it. It's beautiful, and I owe it all to the family that owns this place because it's not mine, but they always let me come and enjoy the peace. All right. So yes, as I was saying, so our students really need role models. They need really good role models. And I believe that I have done my best in this life to be a good role model for students. I'm not going to say that I'm perfect because I'm not. I have my weaknesses. But everybody has their weaknesses. It doesn't mean that they cannot be or serve as a role model for children. And of course, I'm a teacher, so I love children. I like to see them grow. I like to see them definitely be successful in whatever their path may be. It doesn't have to be math like mine or teaching like mine, but whatever it may be, I want them to be successful. And it's very important to me. I'm going to sit down. So let me see. Okay, there we go. So let me show y'all too. Sitting here, it's basically a flood wall because one time the water did come up all the way to here. And so it was, oh, there are my glasses, yay! I had lost them. So I think the wind blew them over here. So let me pick those up. There they are. See if I can reach. Come on, come on. There we go. Okay, got them. All right, so yes. So I believe that students, the young, they need good role models. And I want to be someone that they can talk to. Someone that will be able to help them with their I'm gonna get up. Someone that can be able to help them with their struggles, whatever they may be going through in school. I know a lot about education, so they can always ask me questions and I can help them. I began teaching in 1998. I taught GED for Southwest Texas Junior College, and that is an exam that students who have dropped out need to take so that it's kind of like a diploma, right? But in place of a diploma. So that was my first job that I had, my first teaching assignment. I went to the University of Houston from 95 to 97, and I graduated in 97 with a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics. And then I got my master's in education, from Sul Ross State University here in Uvalde. They have an extension. And my major, in that case, it was secondary education. And I also attended Southwest Texas Junior College back when it was awesome. It was so awesome. And I got my associates there. And then I have continued to get more education. I have a lot of professional development from Harvard University because Harvard is the best. So, if I want my students to be the best, then I have to challenge myself and be the best too, and learn from the best and get the best education. So I have a lot of trainings from Harvard, and those have been truly impactful. I also have a week-long training that I did at Berkeley in California, UC Berkeley, and that was on social emotional learning, SEL, social emotional learning, because that was something, and it still is, but it was something that a few years ago was spoken a lot about, social emotional learning, that yes, our students need to learn about social emotional learning, including things like how to be more empathic, how to be more compassionate, how to make I have something buzzing around me. I think it's a fly. How to be how to be more nurturing, and please look it up. It has so many facets that I can't even think of all of them, but of course a big one is how to be more empathic. I mean, but students learn that and children learn that by seeing other people who are empathic, and I'm definitely one of them. I'm very empathic, very compassionate. I I am not weak though, because I now have a lot of experiences. So if I need to be very firm, I will be very firm. I will not be smiling like this sometimes because, you have to learn in life that you cannot be a wimp. So I'm not a wimp. I will speak up my mind when I have to, and I definitely do it in terms of education. If I see the district doing things that I don't particularly think are the best things that they could do, right, for our students, then I will voice my opinion on Facebook. I will, and it's really much faster that way. Sometimes people say, "Have you gone to central office to talk?" But I don't do that because they just waste your time. That is a waste of time. People don't generally listen that way, but they will listen when you put something on Facebook. And it's not to say that I put ugly things. I don't do that. I don't talk about people or anything like that. But I just bring things to people's attention, because if you bring it to people's attention in a good way, then the community sees it, and then they know that other people have seen it, and so they're more likely to pay attention. And that is the way I do it, because I have found through my experience that you can't really go through the route that a lot of people do, which is make an appointment and this and that. It doesn't work. It has not worked for me. I've tried it before, and people just don't listen. So sometimes, I have to put down my foot and say what needs to be said, because every time, every time it has to do with education. When I'm talking about education, it has to do with what is good for our students, not what is good for the principals, not what is good for the superintendents. No, it's what is good for the students, and we need to focus on what is good for the students. We can't focus, and that's where we go wrong in education, is that many times individuals focus on what is good for them. It's wrong. Teachers, and if everybody would cooperate, and if everybody would think like me, and I know there are others that do, but we need more, that think what is good for the student, not what is good for me as a principal, or me as a teacher, or me as an assistant superintendent, or anything like that. But people put on a facade, and they want to be liked, and then they forget, or maybe they lack courage. A lot of times that is the case. People lack a lot of courage. I don't. I have gone through my times that were not very good, that were difficult, and I know that there was a reason for that. And one of the reasons is that I am stronger, and people don't run me over like they did when I was in my 20s or even my 30s. Math Rocks was in 2007, so I was already 30 something, 33, 33, um, 34. And so and now I'm 51. So I have had many years of training how to be stronger, how to not let people run over you and over me, right? And how to defend students. So because I do that so much, I decided, hey, you need to come up with a mentoring group. You need to form a group of students from anywhere in this world that you can have and meet with them on a weekly basis. I would like to do weekly. I would like to start weekly. If that doesn't work, if it's too much, then I'll go to 2 weeks, every 2 weeks. But for sure, it will be every 2 weeks. Maybe it will be 4 times a month. Okay, so I'm gonna work with that, and I told myself, yes, you need to do this because you have so much educational background, you have so many experiences that you can share with students, and they will learn from you. And they will learn, because I still remember what it was like to be a student. And I remember that sometimes there were difficult times. I was an A student. I made all A's. I did. I think my only C was in chemistry, I believe. I think. I can't quite remember if it was a C or a B in high school. But other than that, I pretty much made all A's. So I was a good student. I paid attention. I worked hard. And so because I have done that, I want to encourage other students that are really, having a hard time with life in general. I mean, so many students suffer from depression. So many students, think about committing suicide or commit suicide. They need people in their lives. They need people that will understand them. And who better than a teacher, right? Because I love kids. I love kids. I'm like a little Mother Teresa, and she's my role model, as I said, because we have to guide our youth. We have to. They need they need people to guide them. All right. So that is my what I wanted to share with you. My talk here. Please, I would love to mentor your child. I would love to mentor your child. I would love for your child to join my program so that they will have somebody that they can ask questions about education, and I can be there for them. We will be meeting, if not weekly, then twice a week, but they can always contact me. I will give them my number. And if they're needing anything, of course, not every day. You don't expect like all the time, or for sure they better not be texting me during school, because I'll get after them. But they can talk to me, and I will. If they have questions and they're facing some substantial obstacles, then that's why I want to be there. I want to be there for them, you know. And sometimes it happens in families that are very wealthy. They're doing very well. Sometimes this happens in families that are very poor. So it could be any child. Sometimes in wealthy families the parents aren't there because they're so busy, right, with whatever they do, and so therefore the children are left out sometimes. And I know that it doesn't happen on purpose sometimes, but sometimes it happens, right? And then the parents have to take a look at that and say, hey, yeah, we need to do things differently. I mean, I think we all go through that. I remember going through that. I have a son, he's 24. And so, yes, I've been through the challenges, and I also was divorced. I may as well just tell you because, it's important. I want to share who I am with you so that you know where I'm coming from, and yes, who I am. I mean, you don't want to just, you don't want to, I know I say wanna, you don't want to just um, have your child talking to anybody, on the internet. And that is actually why I'm here, because they talk to people that they don't even know. But I know that if you sign them up for my program, they will be talking to somebody that you know. I want you to know me. I want you to know what I'm about, other than what I have just shared. If you want to talk to me about this, please call me. I can send you my number and talk to me, because my goal, now that I see everything and the craziness of the world, right? Now that I'm 51 and I have lived so many years, I mean half a century, my goal is to help children, these that are young, because life is tough for them. It's very different than it was for us, for sure. I think we had it easier because we didn't have things like the internet that could, get us addicted, and then therefore we didn't want to do our homework because we were addicted to TikTok, or we were addicted to games or whatever. I'm so glad that we didn't. When I graduated high school in 1992, so we didn't have that craziness back then. But students also need to hear, and children need to hear words from strangers, right? People that don't know them, because sometimes as parents, and I am a parent, we judge. We don't really understand our kids sometimes, and they don't share with us, as much as we would like sometimes. But sometimes it's our fault because we don't listen. Sometimes we don't listen, and we're too quick to judge. So I know how that is. I've taught many students. I've had many students in Math Rocks, and they've shared many things with me. And one thing I know is that I'm a good listener, because they tell me. And one thing I know is that people come to me all the time. Students, I mean, like kids, right? 10, 11, 12, 13, teenagers, and people in their 20s. They come to me all the time because they see something in me, right? And they know they can trust me. And so I know I have a gift, thanks to God. And I know it's God. I know I have a gift for listening. I have a gift for helping. And that's what I want to do. Continue doing, right? Other than my tutorials, which I'm, of course, doing, because right now it's summer in Texas. And I live in Uvalde, Texas, like I said. It's summer here in Texas, and so I'm doing summer camps. And I have a few students that have been coming to my summer camp so I can prepare them for the next year. That's the goal. But I'm also starting this project, which it would be awesome. I just know it. I know it. It's going to be the greatest thing, I just know it. I feel it in every bone in my body. And God always lets me know it's the time to do it, and do it, because it will be successful. And I know it will. I know that the parents will be very happy. You parents that are listening, I know that the parents will be very happy that their child is in good hands. I know it. I know it. So just like the parents that bring their children to me for tutorials and they're very happy that their child is learning, because I'm very strict. I just know my stuff. Thanks to God, I know my math. So I know how to teach and I know how to train, and that's my gift, right? But I also know how to give advice and I also know how to support children. So if you have any questions, please call me. And I sincerely hope that you will allow your child and to join my group. I am only going to accept a few students. I don't want tons of students. So I'm going to start with 10. I'm going to start with a group of 10. So I hope that your child is one of those, okay? I really do. We will be meeting via Zoom, like I said, weekly or bi-weekly, and then I will be chit-chatting with them throughout the week. All right. So when they're not with me, and they're doing their own thing, and they have a question about something, right? It could be a question about friends. It could be sports. It could be anything that they can call me or send me a text, I guess, right? Because most of the time that's what we do. Sometimes it's just faster and it gets the job done. So they can do that too. All right. So yeah, definitely. I hope that I see your child, and I hope that someday I will meet you again. I don't even think I said my name, so I will say it now. I'm sorry. I'm just so used to doing these videos and that I forget. But my name is Deyanira Salazar. Deyanira Salazar. And I do Math Rocks in Uvalde, Texas. So I am a math tutor, math specialist. But right now, I am taking time out in Montel, Texas, and that's why you see me. So it's so beautiful, and the sun's about to go down, so I'm about to make myself drive back to Uvalde. But I'm glad that I did my video here because it's really beautiful. I wanted to share with y'all. So I did it on purpose because I wanted to share with you, how beautiful Texas is. We have a lot of hill country, and I don't think this is part of the hill country, but you can see the hills out there. But when you leave Uvalde to get to here, you go kind of northwest, right? But when you go to the hill country, you go north. So I didn't exactly go north, but this is still beautiful. I love it. You can just see it. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. So again, I come here to rejuvenate, and I always need it because I'm a teacher and I'm a relationship coach. I'm also a relationship coach. I hadn't felt to say that. So I also help people who are going through divorces or divorce. That's another thing that I started doing in 2022 when I joined Tony Robbins. I get a lot of trainings from Tony Robbins, and so after joining Tony Robbins, I decided I can also help people who have been through a divorce or are going through a divorce, or even people who are going through difficult relationships or a breakup. So I'm also doing that. All of these things have to do with helping people. I'm a people helper. I know. I'm a people helper, just like Mother Teresa. So yeah. All right. You have a wonderful day. And if you have questions, please let me know. I will send you my number, and you can contact me. Just let me know that you want to talk. You can send me a text first, and then we'll decide what is a good time, so I don't waste your time, okay? Because I definitely don't like missing calls. We're all busy, so I don't want to waste your time, and I know you don't want to waste mine because we're always doing things. So yeah. All right. Take care, and hasta la vista. Thank you for hearing me out. I speak Spanish. I was born in Mexico. In 1973, but then I moved to the US. So, hasta la vista. Adios. Sayonara. And do videña. Enjoy your, I think my lens is a little dirty, so it's kind of foggy. All right. Take care, guys. Bye.